we go. Got her anchored. Try to shift off to the left here in a minute in case the boat shows up, but water's low and still dumping. Worried about getting hung up a little bit, so I'm gonna start off with a weedless hook here on the fluke, belly weighted Gamakatsu 5/0, I think 1/4 ounce. I'll bite the head off the fluke just to give a nice flat nose on it. Try to screw it in as straight as possible. So line up where that hook shank meets the body. Voila. Some people bury the hook tip. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. Go ahead and throw some scent in here. NAUTIHOOK'R. This is, I believe, inshore saltwater. We'll see what happens. See what we can do. So this cast, I'm gonna let it hit on or just about the bottom. Working it later and later. So the first few casts, working a little higher in the column, see if they come up for it. If I don't get anything, let it sink a little bit lower. Now this bank drops off pretty quick. So once you work it out a little bit, you're gonna have to give it longer pauses so it works lower in the water column. Because if they're sitting on that drop off, could be sitting at the bottom of it. Well, the birds are sure back here. I don't know if they use this grass in the wintertime. Man, sometimes I feel like I'm sitting up here talking out my ass. That sun in the way. All right, get myself situated here. Gonna start out with something natural. Let me see that. Pulled it out last trip. Tennessee shad. A lot of times when the tide's in like this, the water will be real clean, won't dirty up until it falls out. There were quite a few big white birds. They were perched up on the trees there. Usually that's a big indication of where the bait's been. They know where to sit at the right times, wait for the bait to show up. They're sitting there waiting on it. So might have some good activity, hopefully. So I ought to get something fired up. Oh, I got tapped pretty quick. There's one. Finally got on to one. The thing I've learned is when you put your hand or put your finger in their mouth, you do that with a mean grip, because these do tend to want to go a little crazy. But North Carolina tags, they're stripers, so you always check down here on the bottom, because sometimes you'll find a tag, and there's different color tags. Some of them have monetary value, so you can put a tag in the system and the state will pay you for it. Fun, fun, fun. Went to the swim bait and it's easier, I can work it faster. It's not weedless, so that part can take advantage of you sometimes, but these are active enough to come up and grab it. Here's another good one. Not the biggest, but he's got a little gut on him. It's good, he's eating. Forgot about this little creek. It is hardly a creek, but it's got some structure on the outside of it. Might be able to pull one off of here. And they pull out of these offshoots, they gravitate to areas with a little bit of cover. You see there's a lot of wood hanging out on the outside of this offshoot. Offshoot. Creeks within a creek. I don't know, call it what you want. Well, boy. I got here about the best time I could. Can't seem to get them. These solo trips ain't been working out. What I get for fish cheating on George and John. Throw some more goat juice on this and shoot up to the next creek. There's a fish. I picked it up. A decent one. He wasn't sleeping. He sure didn't knock it hard either. Get the net so we take care of him. I had a bite this morning the same way. Didn't feel real hard. They didn't hit it hard. Just sort of picked it up. These fellas like to dance in your hands. Fluke, Tennessee shad, that rugby jig. Just so I could get down there to the bottom. The current's kind of died down quite a bit, so it's not hard to get the lure down there. Trying to get this guy swimming off. Good one. Well within casting distance of that. There he is. This feels like a better one. Yeah, he'll do. He'll do. Yeah, he's definitely better. So I think we've established how important tide times are. You gotta catch them whenever the tide's moving just right. They get fired up. But nice one. Good fish, good fish. Had a couple boils pop up out here in the open. Flicked it over there and he picked it up. I think they are getting bigger. This one is taking advantage of the current for sure. What you can do is put your net behind them a lot of times and let up on the rod and let the current sweep them back into the net. A little bit better. Whew, I had him hooked up pretty good. Decent fish. Get a quick measurement. 5.6. 5-pounder. Good fish. Look at that. It's definitely not what you want to hit going 40 miles an hour up or down the river. You never know when things break loose, start floating down, so you always got to keep your eyes open. It's hard enough with crab pots. Crab pots are everywhere, man. They are everywhere. All right, got something going on here. Did the color change? Did not feel the bite real hard, but he was sure enough there. Just sort of picked it up. What I was doing was working that lure from the bank out deeper and deeper. And he picked it up